Welcome to Chaotically Nerdy, a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and for children with bad parents. Adult language will be used, and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Tyler.
And me, Jared.
And me, Ethan.
And me, Ashley.
And me, Jamie.
Yeah, we're going to have 5 people, which is going to be a clusterfuck, because we got 5 people and 4 mics and 4 headphones.
Yes.
Yep.
Poor James can't.
I don't hear a word that's happening. I hear everything. Yeah.
I was going to say, we're still talking. It's not like we're just...
We're just...
We're not in soundproof spaces.
It's those masks that Razer wanted to make during COVID.
Yeah, that you could just talk into, but nobody could hear you. That was great.
Also, Ethan and I would like to apologize because both he and I are getting over being sick, as some of you in the Discord know. So we both sound like shit and have been coughing, so sorry.
I sound like shit usually, so it's fine.
They got the Christmas.
I didn't say it.
Yeah,
You really do sound most.
You have like maybe a little bit of like.
I mean,
you sound like you're gonna die.
I smoke about 6 packs a day. I don't know what to tell you.
you should have heard me when I called off D&D because I didn't sound. I sound like Roz from Monsters Incorporated. I'm watching you, Wazowski. Always watching.
Why do you guys know that one's name?
I didn't.
Roz?
I just inferred from his.
I don't know.
Oh, I absolutely knew it. I don't know why I know it either. I just know it.
I remember the dumbest things that have no bearing on actual life.
I agree.
I mean, I do too.
I do too. And then it's like I'll see something that I should know, and it's not there, and I get so mad.
It's like something important I was supposed to do, like pay a bill.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I'm
one's
going to
like,
remember
fuck you.
Roz's name.
Remember to give patients medication? I don't know, maybe.
I do.
Can I make
that part I do. I also have like a little box that tells me, hey, fucker, this is due at this time.
Can I make a caveat that has nothing to do with any of this? Soul Leveling Season 2 came out today, so...
Episode 1.
It still started.
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
I put that in the Discord.
I don't read Discord.
He can't read.
I literally put it to.
No, that's Tyler.
I thought that was him.
Tyler can't read. I don't read.
I also made a comment today about it because I put in there, I'd hope Solo Living might release as a simuldub, where they released the English
luck.
dub. I said, it alas is not. Many sad, much disappoint.
JJK Season 3 also got announced to be in production.
That's good.
To be fair, I usually summarize things in the Discord for you.
I know. If
That's
you
true.
don't, if you don't read it to me, I'm not.
Yeah, we had a conversation when you weren't here for D&D about this, about how you like filter all the important stuff, and he just zones out.
100%.
I've noticed his interactions on Discord have just plummeted.
They went down the toilet.
That's because I did most of my interactions on Discord on my computer, and I'm not really as on it as much as I used to be. So
Yeah.
I sleep a lot more.
So speaking of computers, I don't know, that's a shitty segue. This week we're going to talk about the 2024 Video Game Awards because that just came out 3 weeks ago.
Something like that.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, about 3 weeks, I think.
2 or 3. I think it was right before Christmas. So I guess we're just going to hop right in. So Game of the Year. The nominees were Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring DLC. I don't even know what that actually stands for. Final Fantasy VII, and Metaphor Refantasio. And the winner was Astrobot, which a lot of people are pissed off about.
Why?
Explain the outrage.
A lot of people are pissed off because it has not added anything to the gaming genre at all.
But neither did Black Myth.
I was going to say,
so
why does that have? Why is that a qualification to win?
It's
Game
not
of
necessarily
the year?
that. It's just they thought there were better games.
Well,
Like Black Myth.
Black Myth. What do you mean Black Myth didn't?
I mean, it's exactly like every other Souls game that you see. It only in the only thing it pushed forward was it pushed Chinese mythology more to the mainstream.
Oh, so it did bring something.
One thing,
Not to the gaming, like
not to
innovating
gaming, just more
like
pop culture.
Yeah.
It is more of a cultural change than an actual
gaming.
Gaming.
It
I'm
didn't
just saying,
like
based on
mechanically, it didn't do anything.
No,
It was either that or
Yeah.
Wukong, like based on what
Well, let's be
nominees.
honest. Souls games haven't done that since Dark Souls 2.
No, and
Yeah.
Yeah, they've all been basically the same game with a different veneer.
Yeah.
So let's not pretend
And
this is any
I've-
different.
no,
Okay, then
I've just seen a lot of videos of people just jumping over obstacles because I mean it's a platformer,
Yeah.
and so it's just people jumping over, and it looks very boring. And they're like, "This one game of the year." Not that I haven't played it, so I have no dog in the fight.
I also have no dog.
I just know that I've seen people complain about it. I
I'm
think
just-
you're
I'm-
the only one that's played, James.
I'm saying, out of these, we got 3 original games, an expansion, a remake, and then I'm assuming an original game, a metaphor.
I think, yeah.
okay.
should expansions and remakes really be on there?
Exactly. So that
Final-
takes those two
okay.
out.
We talked about this the
Last
last year because there was another
It was
remake,
Resident Evil
I feel
4.
like there was-
yeah, that was in the conversation.
Yeah, I know.
and it shouldn't.
I really shouldn't.
Resident Evil or no, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. It is a sequel to a remake, but it's not a remake
Yeah.
of the game.
I was
It's,
saying-
it's the story's different.
Yeah.
The story is not what the original Final Fantasy VII was.
Then shouldn't it be named something fucking different?
Well,
Yeah.
it was. It's just I'm assuming that you didn't put.
I
the
just didn't
rebirth.
put the rebirth
'Cause I was like,
I mean,
didn't
to
the
me,
remake come out?
hell, I didn't know it was any different. I
Yeah,
thought it was
it's
just a remake.
No, it's a sequel. The
because they did the remake in 22.
2020.
Jeez, it's been that long.
They did the remake in 2020, and then this one was a sequel to
like
how
Fast
that
and
one
Furious,
changed
but
the
of video
original
games.
game.
Just-
That's why
Fair.
it's Final Fantasy VII remake is a different idea for the whole remakes being on Game of the Year because it changed things.
so it's not a remake.
Not
It's like
it's like half remake.
All right.
It's
Like
like,
a reboot
it's like the same
slash-
system, different story.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's Final Fantasy VII system with a different story to it, if I'm understanding correctly.
But expansions definitely should not be.
I think that this expansion, the Elden Ring one, is an exception to that because it's not most DLCs that are expansions you get like 2 to 5 hours out of at most. This was like the length of some full campaign.
Yeah, it was like
in games.
30 hours you
Yeah.
get with it. Like it would, but it was 30 hours, but new added bosses, it was like new.
It was a whole new
everything.
area.
It was a whole new area that Tales
Like
still
an
takes.
expansion.
It was,
But it was bigger than most
but
expansions you'll see.
besides your MMOs, where you had like WoW and
It's a video game. Yeah. I don't know why that is an exception.
The reason I'm like all for Astrobot winning is Astrobot's not just it's just a platformer. It brings everything that PlayStation's had together in a big celebration of the IP with like Kratos. You'll see different Last of Us characters. You'll see Snake on there. Just different IPs they've
you
had.
unlock them as you go.
Yeah, as you
right?
go and you unlock them and you get to see them. But it's also it's probably some of the most like joy and fun I've had playing a game in a hot minute.
So it's like Kingdom Hearts, but for PlayStation.
Kingdom Hearts was for PlayStation. That was-
No, I mean for PlayStation shit,
Yeah.
not Disney.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It brings a lot of joy to people that grew up fans of PlayStation.
I mean, Smash Brothers, Kingdom Hearts. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's like that,
It's a
and
similar
it brought a lot of joy to people that
That's
grew
probably
up like
why
that.
it won.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically. Next up is the best game direction. The nominees were Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring. I remember the name now. Shadow of the Erd Tree. Final Fantasy VII and Metaphor or Fantasio, which I'd spelled wrong on that one.
I was gonna say if you have it Erd Tree, you got them both backwards.
What?
If it's Erd Tree, you have it TE, not
No, it's Shadow of the Erd Tree.
It needs to be ET.
Erd Tree is one,
one
word.
word. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
shit, there's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
fucking missing T there.
The
but-
T is not capitalized; it's lowercase.
Yeah. Erd is ERDTREE. There's a giant tree in Elden
I
Ring.
know what it is.
Okay.
It's
Astro-
an expansion to Elden Ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Astrobot won that one as well,
Yeah.
which I can agree with. The only one, I feel like Balatro is fun.
Baltro's a lot.
I've not played it, but the little bit that I watched of it just looked really fun.
I don't have a horse in this race, so
Yeah, I don't either. But
this year was not good for my.
for someone
yeah.
For someone who actually doesn't watch or really care much about any of the VGAs or the awards that are handed out for like actors and actresses and or like gaming stuff, what is it?
So
Balatro, it's like a
it is a card game
yeah,
that
I'm
you
out.
like actual cards, like
But hold
playing
on.
cards.
it's a card game where you play poker hands and you have to beat a certain score. Each card and like what you play a 5, you can play up to a 5 card hand. And you have to beat this certain score that gets harder each time. There's bosses where they have like your hearts cards. If you play hearts, they won't count as much. You also get to buy bonuses to your own to where the one I watched was Markiplier, and he bought a card that if he played something that wasn't a face card, it would add a multiplier for each time he didn't play that, and that went through multiple rounds. So he basically was trying to get rid of all of his face cards always.
Gotcha.
It's not a roguelike, is it? Where if you like lose, you lose, like you start over again.
I don't know.
Because I've seen a game like this that was a roguelike.
I didn't
That you would
watch it enough.
Play this and then you would lose, and you have to start all over again.
I didn't watch it enough of his to know for sure because I never seen him lose.
Fair. I don't know.
It's not my type of game.
It'd be like a fun little time sink is all it really is, if you're into that. Next up, best narrative. Nominees are Metaphor Tanzio, however you say it, Final Fantasy VII, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Sinuous Saga, Hellblade 2, which I didn't even know was out, and Silent Hill 2.
What the fuck is that?
So the first one was about a Celtic lady that had schizophrenia, and you just play her throughout the story.
Not known for combat, more known for like cutscenes in this story that you were given.
Yeah. And the winner of that one was Metaphor Refantasio.
What is Like a Dragon?
Yakuza.
Oh, okay.
It's like a Dragon's the American name.
Yeah.
I very much disagree with that one. Yeah, Like a Dragon should have won that. I love Atlas, and the guys who made Metaphor make Persona.
Did you play Metaphor?
Oh, I played all of those. I loved Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but Like a Dragon was like the best story game of the year. Fair. Without a doubt.
Gotcha.
Because we got to see the main character from the other games come back and get a big like roundabout story with him and like full on with that. So it's very much the best game we got out of that list.
Gotcha. Next up is best score. Nominees are Final Fantasy VII, Astrobot, Metaphor again, Silent Hill 2, and Stellar Blade. And the winner of that one was Final Fantasy VII.
Which isn't a surprise because Square Enix
They have very
often ranks pretty high in scores because they have really good music.
I think
usually.
they won this last year too with Final Fantasy 16.
I think so.
Oh, yeah, I think so.
I'm very far from shocked, having played Final Fantasy 14
Yeah,
for as
the
long
music
as I
on there is
did.
really
Yeah,
good.
so I think they won with 16 as well, which understanding 16's music was like perfect.
Yeah.
Banging.
And then best audio, the nominees are Hellblade, or Sinuous Saga Hellblade 2, Astrobot, Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy 7, and Silent Hill 2. And the winner was Sinuous Saga Hellblade 2.
Black Ops 6 should not be on this fucking list. I can't hear footsteps
I was
half
gonna
the
say,
time
what
when I'm
is-
moving
I was
like
gonna
3
ask,
steps.
The difference is just like the actual sound quality of the game.
I would imagine it probably plays something like, my guess is with Sinuous Saga, you're probably hearing voices on different sides and things like that. Having not played it, I don't know.
I
For
have
sure.
a feeling like anything from Call of Duty should not be on any of these lists.
I wonder if
Strictly
it's,
as a rule.
As for like multiplayer, like experience this year was good, but sound quality, I can hear a footstep when they're right fucking behind me, so I don't think it should be on this.
I wonder if this is counting Black Ops 6 campaign and that's it.
Okay, then that would make sense because there was some really interesting stuff done with like torture and brainwashing and whatnot.
How long
the
was it?
campaign, So
The campaign, probably 4 hours.
it's like 8.
I don't know how long
It's a
it
pretty
was.
long one this year for Call of Duty.
For Call of Duty.
For Call of Duty, yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Back
still
in my
stupid.
day.
It's still stupid.
I agree.
It's not that they're bad campaigns. It's just
They're pretty
they're
decent.
so short all the time.
What was the one that was really short?
Like super short?
Yeah, that was like 4 hours or 5 hours or whatever it was. It was like,
Fuck, I don't know.
that's a
Was it, I think it was Modern Warfare 3, the most recent one.
Maybe.
maybe. It felt like it was a little bit older than that, but like,
World War II was super short.
I think maybe that's what it was.
That one was like short.
That was one.
Yeah.
For
was
no
like that.
fucking reason.
Yeah, screw them. Yeah.
Oh no, 100%. They
Yeah.
suck. But for them being nominated for best audio, you can tell they never played the fucking game.
Yeah. Next up is best performance. So your nominees were Melina Juergens, I think is how you say that, for Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Brianna White for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hannah Tell for Life is Strange Double Exposure, Humberly Gonzalez for Star Wars Outlaws, and Luke Roberts for Silent Hill 2, and the winner was Melina Juergens. I don't like that name. I know I'm saying it wrong because I know it's not Jergens, like the lotion,
Let me see.
but it's like
Jurgens?
probably.
Because she's Swedish.
Yeah, it's probably Jurgens.
Probably. But yeah, she's the one that won that one. I have not played a single one of these, so I couldn't tell you.
Sure.
Congratulations, Jergens.
This is the only good part about Hellblade 2. The game itself is 5 hours long, and it cost $40, and it was, which is just
It's only 5 hours.
yeah, it's only 5 hours.
Wow.
It was like bad, and it's not a good 5 hours. It's a bad 5 hours. This is not a good game, but like the performance, fantastic. First one, fantastic. It's great.
Next up, we've got the Innovation and Accessibility Award, I guess is the way you say it. Prince of Persia was nominated. Black Ops 6.
Blops.
It's easy to remember that way. Diablo 4, the new Dragon Age, and the Star Wars Outlaws. I did not look up what they did to get this because I didn't on
Yeah,
the.
I'm always confused by this section.
So innovation, a lot of the games will do something that allows disabilities to make it more accessible. I don't, but like I said, I didn't look it up, so I don't know that that's what they did. I don't know why anybody got nominated for this. The one I looked just showed who got it and who won.
Like Final Fantasy, Final Fantasy VII does a thing where you can have, like, for people that don't they can't control like action and whatnot with another hand. So they'll have it to where you can put it on a mode where your character just attacks by itself, and you can use one hand to use a controller.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I don't know what any of these did because obviously I don't use
Those?
Yeah, I don't use those options. So
I would assume that it's also something like in Grounded, in the game Grounded, it's you get shrunk down and you play as a multiplayer, like you have to survive.
you can do like arachnophobia mode.
Yeah, the arachnophobia mode.
yeah.
They have a section where you can actually physically turn off arachnophobia because some people's fear is so bad that in the place of spiders, they'll put cockroaches for people specifically for that reason.
And a lot of these
Satisfactory was like that.
yeah, a lot of these
It
games
replaces them with like static cat heads.
they also it also might be for people with like
I have a feeling you turned that on just
Just because
just
they
to
meow
have
at
it.
you too, which the spiders don't, and that was fun.
it also might be like people that like with difficulty seeing because like Prince of Persia was a very bright and colorful game, so it might be people that can't see very well.
They might have had an even different
Yes.
mode to where you
Yeah.
could fix that if you
Yeah.
had sensitivity to light or something. I don't. Like I said, I
or
don't know.
like color blindness. Or like,
Yeah, which most games now have colorblind.
But like Call of Duty, it understands about Call of Duty on this because like different games like that have like shooters are usually always very bland and dry, so shooters have a lot more like color options you can do. Like you can do like bright hot pink and yellow that you're playing with kind of thing.
You dropped your paper.
Oh my god, I didn't know this.
Next up is Games for Impact, a game called Neva. I'm going to assume it's Neva.
Eva, Nate, yeah.
Closer the Distance, Indica, Life is Strange, Hellblade 2, and Tales of
Kinzara Zao.
Kinzara However, Neva was the winner of that. Again, the one I looked up didn't show anything about this game.
What is this award for? Like,
I feel like I
Games
played
for
Indica
Impact?
before.
I would assume it's like a political
Yeah.
to some
Neither
degree.
is like one of the only games on here that I haven't played, but it's like a platformer. It's like Ori and the Will of the Wisps
No, I don't.
type of thing.
I was more wondering what is the award for? Like games for impact. What does that mean?
Maybe it has a bigger impact on the community of gamers as a whole and of gaming as itself, like more of an art piece brought in, like what Ori was, or what Hollow Knight is. Different games like that, where they have more of an impact on gaming as a whole.
The Games for Impact Award aims to distinguish a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message.
Okay.
Oh.
I had figured it was slightly cultural.
Yeah, more. Yeah, okay.
Oh.
Political.
Okay.
Next up is Best Ongoing Games. Helldivers 2, Destiny 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 14, and Fortnite. And Helldivers 2 won that.
How?
I think that is probably correct.
Oh, but
Diablo 4 is a Blizzard game, and Blizzard doesn't deserve it yet.
no, but
Destiny 2 does not
no, it
deserve
doesn't.
it.
That's not what I'm arguing for.
Final
It's-
Fantasy 14 had an expansion this year, and it was not worth the dimes that you had to pay to buy it. And Fortnite is Fortnite.
Yes, but Fortnite's also probably the most impactful and probably the biggest game
Absolutely it
ever
is.
made.
I would
Absolutely
say
it is.
of these, the two closest were Helldivers and Fortnite.
And also, they released 2 new versions or modes this year in OG and
Yeah, well,
Ballistic.
the reason I'd say Fortnite should have gotten it is because Fortnite
Has Fortnite gotten this one before?
Probably.
Okay.
Not
probably
sure.
All right.
probably more than
Helldivers,
once.
did it
New.
receive any other rewards?
But for best ongoing game,
Yes, it did. Very few.
for best ongoing game, that
others.
indicates it's been around for longer
And
than
Helldivers-
less than a year.
Was a huge impact.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
it's also new hotness. It's like,
yeah, it's new, but you'd think it. But for ongoing game, it indicates it's been around for longer than
sure.
8-9.
It has
months.
it has a huge impact. If only we're talking about TikTok.
And it's a massive game. It's
Yeah.
huge,
I don't.
especially then they just dropped a new expansion.
I
Well, and that's the
understand
thing,
why
too.
they would. I mean, Fortnite is obviously the only one here that should even be considered outside of Helldivers 2, right? So I can understand why they picked Helldivers 2 because it's new. It obviously has not received any awards before.
Yes.
So I can see why they would do it because probably if Fortnite keeps doing more good stuff, it's probably going to be the one for next year too. Whereas Helldivers probably won't keep doing good stuff because PlayStation has their fingers in it.
They already did some not good stuff.
Yeah, with the whole.
They've already done some bad stuff, so we already foresee that it's going to go down the poop chute.
I mean,
so.
it says something that the fact that Fortnite being made in 2017 is still on this list.
Ongoing games is in quotations here
Yeah.
for Helldivers. So
Next up is Best Community Support. Nominees are Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 14, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. And the winner is, of course, Baldur's Gate 3.
I mean, yeah.
It's just coming back the next year.
I would say literally it's that or No Man's Sky. I don't-
probably,
Yeah.
Well, No Man's Sky has done a whole bunch of
Exactly.
stuff this year. It's been a lot of stuff this year. This is the one game that I've repeatedly played this year. That's
Helldivers-
even on this page of multitude of names.
But also, Baldur's Gate 3 just said, you know what, fuck it, here's new subclasses for
They said we're not going to put anything out new for the
Nope,
game.
nope. They
Listen.
said they were not going to do paid DLC.
Yes. So they gave free DLC.
So I know that I said that I don't really care about the VGAs or like any of this stuff, but I have to say, having played No Man's Sky and having watched you played No Man's Sky, Ethan,
Yeah.
I think No Man's Sky should have placed personally because their community support. Like I understand why BG3 was picked. Don't get me wrong, I understand why, but I feel like No Man's Sky should be a lot higher on this list than what it
I
is.
feel like Helldivers 2 needs a pat on the back, too, for backing off of their terrible policies.
I mean, I don't think it should be on best.
No, Ethan, we don't pat them on the back for doing not shitty things.
I think
I think you should.
No,
I think you should.
No, not for backtracking on a not shitty thing. You get a backpack. You get a pat on the back for not having done the shitty thing in the first place.
Well, no, I would say even you don't get a bat on the back for not doing the shitty thing. I think that if PlayStation was like, hey, we want to do this, and the company said, hey, PlayStation wants to do this, we're not fucking doing it.
Well,
then
that's
you get
what-
a pat on the
The
back.
problem is that's what we've been doing, and they just keep getting shittier and shittier.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, if they're not going to give us a pat on the back, we're going to keep doing shitty stuff.
I also don't think Helldivers should have even been on here because they lost like 95% of their player base in like months after release.
I do have to agree.
They did that because of the whole.
Oh yeah, but then they didn't. But then those players didn't go back.
Yeah, because they were pissed off already.
Most games lose a massive chunk of their player base. It is literally just like, oh, what's the new game this week or this month, whatever.
I think anyone who's played most of these games here, which I have, I would say that most people would say that Baldur's Gate 3 probably deserves it, but No Man's Sky's been putting out a lot of stuff, and then probably runner up.
And also gonna get a lot of love whenever they release the new game.
Yeah.
What?
Um,
Light No Fire?
Light No Fire. Gonna get.
Well, we don't even know when that's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's soon. And that's just how that guy does stuff. So it's whatever. But yeah, Lyrian's probably.
Next up is the best indie game, and the nominees are Balatro, Animal Well, Manor Lords, Pacific Drive, The Plucky Squire.
I've played one other game.
Oh. Manor Lords, I'm guessing, because of the way you went, when you heard it.
Balatro
It's fine.
Balatro won, of course, because it makes sense that if it's going to be nominated for Game of the Year, it's going to win Best Indie.
Yeah.
It's gonna win any category it's in, almost.
Maybe. Yeah. It's also, if you didn't know, it's nominated for Best Mobile Game because that's the next category.
Sure.
Balatro, AFK Journey, Pokemon Trading Cards, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. And Balatro won that one as well.
I got a question. Is the Withering Waves based on Withering Heights?
I have no idea.
Just because it's spelled the same? I'm like,
It's probably just a name.
that's what I was like.
It's going to be based on Wuthering Heights. Have you read it?
No.
Okay.
Well,
it can't be based on it because it's not a.
Oh,
It's not a Regency era love story.
That sounds exactly like a mobile game to me.
It's a dating sim.
Yeah.
But Regency era.
Yeah.
Okay. You would
Don't
play
you
it.
dare come from my fucking novel eras, you piece of shit. Don't you dare, you little shit.
This does not
have
look
read
like a dating sim.
I may have read it. I don't remember.
Wuthering Heights. I don't think it's that long.
I don't think I finished it. I think I read it and was like, ugh, this is
Why would you even? Why can't you even imagine you reading?
for like English or something. I think we had to, I did like a book report.
I was
or,
gonna say,
like,
I didn't
something.
read it.
I don't remember.
Wuthering Heights. It seems strange.
I don't remember.
I mean, it doesn't sound crazy. I
No.
mean, it's a really popular romance novel. So from a long ago.
Next up is the best VR or virtual reality or augmented reality game. Batman Arkham Shadow, Arizona. I don't know if that's supposed to be Arizona and I just mistyped, or if it's supposed to be Arizona. Sunshine Remake, Asgard's Wrath 2, Metal Hellsinger VR, and Metro Awakening. Batman Arkham Shadow won. And that's the only one I've seen, even just a slightly bit of it. I haven't seen much. The thing I seen was a guy freaking out because he got in there and he was like, "I'm fucking Batman," and got real excited because it was VR.
Are these all mostly strictly AR VR games? Because
Well, it is
that's
best VR game.
That's
I mean,
the
that's
award.
strictly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't know.
The only other like two was
I don't know any of these.
Metal Hellsinger. If it's the game I'm thinking of, it's their rhythm games. Metro Awakening. I've watched a playthrough of that.
Metro Awakening sounds like a sexuality explorer.
It's just the next Metro game.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. Everything I've seen, I've watched a playthrough of that and Arkham Shadow. They're really good. The story's really good, and the gameplay looks like a lot of fun.
Next up is the best action game. The nominees are Black Myth Wukong, Black Ops 6, Helldivers. Did you seen BMW?
I was trying to figure out what the hell BMW
I also was
was.
sitting there and I'm looking up. I'm like, he
Well-
has to have already named it.
What
to
makes
have-
me happy is none of you seen me snicker whenever I seen it the first time, because I like after I read the category I go to the next one to get the idea, and I went as I read it. Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, and Warhammer 40k Space Marine.
I don't know how Warhammer 40k didn't win this. Honestly.
Yeah, with the popularity of it.
Well, yeah,
I'm
with the
surprised.
popularity of it, I don't know how they didn't win this.
Black Myth Wukong was sadly, am a lot more popular than Space Marine 2 was.
Yeah.
I would say I've seen a lot more Black Myth Wukong content than
Don't get me wrong. I like
it's very. I just seen more.
Space Marine 2. I like better. Black Myth Wukong. I understand why it won because as just a sole focused just action game, it is.
If you saw, we were talking about if we're gonna base this idea off of the amount of content we saw, why didn't Helldivers 2 win? Because there was way more of that.
Yeah, there was way more action.
Way
than that.
more. It didn't win because the company doesn't deserve it. Let's be honest.
But no, I mean,
I also wonder if Space Marine's performance issues at launch had something to do with it. Maybe
It seems like every time a game has a performance issue, it does hinder. Yeah,
and it is a negative on it. Like
I mean, it is.
They didn't optimize it well.
yeah, no, it was not. Mm-mm.
So
It wasn't meant to be optimized. It's one of those. It's one of those things Warhammer is known for, is being behind a giant paywall.
yeah,
You're playing as a refrigerator. They want to see you look like a refrigerator.
yeah. Next up is the best action/adventure game. Why don't you just call it adventure game? I don't know why we need action in there. Astrobot is a nominee. Prince of Persia, Silent Hill 2, Star Wars Outlaws, and Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom. I had to spell that one out because I knew I wouldn't remember it if I shortened the name. And Astrobot won that one.
Was Astrobot did it deserve Game of the Year? Yes. Legend of Zelda deserved this route.
I'm saying this. Like the way you've explained Astrobot doesn't seem like I would qualify it as a
Adventure game?
adventure game.
No,
I can agree
Echoes of
with
Wisdom absolutely
Maybe
deserved this.
pretty to look at.
Yes, it's more of Astrobot's just a platformer.
Yeah. I think adventure. I think like Uncharted, Prince
Yes.
of Persia, stuff like that.
Echoes of Wisdom absolutely deserved this. It was. I mean, you get to play as Zelda, fun. You play as Zelda walking around in the old school 3D or old school 2D Legend of Zelda. It's like a ton of fun.
And then the next category is Best RPG. Nominees are Metaphor Fantasio, Dragon's Dogma 2,
Sorry.
Ethan sneezing, Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erd Tree, Final Fantasy VII, and Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. And Metaphor Fantasio won that one.
I also played Dragon Dogma 2 for about 8 hours.
How was it?
Yeah, it's
not a bad game. It's just kind of.
That's what I thought. I looked at it
kinda
too.
there.
I thought about buying it, but then it didn't look that great. I'll be honest.
Infinite Wealth obviously should have won this one.
Your bias is showing.
it is.
I've played them all, but Refantasio is good, but Infinite Wealth.
I mean,
Why?
Fantasio was apparently good
Why
enough to
was it
make it
better?
into
You
the
played
game.
both of them, right?
Yes.
So why was it better?
The story is a lot more personal and the way the story is told. I just
Jamie, this is the best RPG. So that usually means like the RPG elements are more.
okay, yeah. Atlas does do RPG elements better than pretty much anyone else.
Story game and RPG game are not the same.
Yeah.
RPG is role play game. Does it bring you into actually playing through the role of the character, or the story game is telling the story to the.
Atlas does a better job of doing that than any other company does. So I can get behind Refantasio winning.
Yeah.
Next up is Best Fighting Game. Nominees are Tekken 8, Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, which is such a long fucking name, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, Marvel vs. Capcom, and Multiverses. And Tekken 8 was the winner.
Sparking Zero not winning this is a crime.
I agree with that.
It's such a good game.
That is the second time that I've hit that thing.
That was so
I am
loud.
so
like a
sorry.
gong.
It was.
It really was.
It's spring, so
The dinner time.
I'm underneath the arm of the microphone so that James and I can share it. I accidentally hit my pencil off of it. Sorry, everyone.
I may be able to edit it out. I don't know.
Thank God.
I don't know, on forums and stuff, I always read people liking Tekken
Oh no, Tekken 8
better than any other fighting game
yeah,
ever.
that's
Tekken 8 should have
and no
won.
matter what version of Tekken it is.
Yeah.
It's more just like
But
it's a
that's the-
shame Sparking Zero came out the same
Yes.
year as Tekken 8.
Yeah.
Tekken 8 rightfully won. I'm just being a sour bitch and saying Sparking Zero should have won. Tekken 8 is obviously the best fighting game of the past 5-6 years. It was better than Street Fighter 6, and that's saying a lot.
Again, I don't have a horse in this race. I couldn't give a shit.
I don't really either. I just watched content from Sparking Zero, and it looked like something I would play and have
They
fun.
all look the same to me. So
I love fighting games.
Next up is Best Sim/Strategy Game. Nominees are Frostpunk 2, Age of Mythology Retold, Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess. That was all one title.
Yep.
Manor Lords, and Unicorn Overlord, which has my vote just by name. I don't know anything about the game. But
as this is a genre, me and Ashley play a lot.
Yeah.
What is Frostbite 2? Or Frostpunk 2, sorry.
I have no idea.
I don't know about that one.
The only one that I really know off.
I do know what
Frostpunk
Frostpunk 2 is because I played Frostpunk. It's fairly unique compared to the others types of because you have to deal with extreme cold because it's like in a post-apocalyptic world where a new ice age has begun.
Is there a train
There
that can never
possibly
stop?
there possibly are trains. It's not like that. Though.
Is it a Snowpiercer?
Basically, what it is your people are surrounding this giant furnace, and you have to maintain it and keep everyone warm through maintaining heat and keeping your people fed and stuff like that.
so you solved that problem by cannibalism.
I did.
Naturally, yeah.
I knew it.
did.
You burn the stuff you don't eat. You eat the stuff you don't burn.
They do a really good job normally, and I understand why they won because I did not play Frostpunk 2 yet.
It's fun.
I was waiting for wintertime because it's thematic.
So basically, tonight, whenever it ices, you're going to buy it.
I'm wanting to buy it soon. But Frostpunk 1, it was really interesting because they had narrative story versions that you had to do certain things, and you had to face different challenges and stuff, and you had to build up and maintain it that way instead of what are you doing?
I'm leaning over so that I
Yeah,
can
you can
be
really
heard
close to me.
clearly. That sounds like a kind of game that I would be interested in playing because of just the difficulty of it. It sounds kind of like what's the Frontier game that you've been playing?
Farthest Frontier?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it's good too.
It kind of sounds like and seems like that level of difficulty though.
It's a different sort of difficulty. It's more along the lines of you actually have you have to overcome these things or you fail and you have to start again. And if you don't they're pretty good. You might actually like it. Yeah. You should give them a shot and see how they are. But
I think the picture that I looked up whenever I looked up Frostpunk 2 literally looked like a cold sieve.
It's also
It's
the
not.
same. It's also the same with the game that you got me for Christmas last year, Flotsam.
yeah.
Where you're on a ship and you have to basically expand and maintain your resources. Except it's really fucking hard.
Yeah.
Like really fucking hard.
Yeah, Frostpunk can be pretty difficult. I mean, you have a time limit until all hell breaks loose, and you have to be able to survive it. And if you're not there by the time, you don't win, and you have to start over again. So, because of how they actually pull the narrative in on a freaking strategy sim game, I mean, which is not real common. Usually, they're pretty dry.
Yeah.
They're really good. They're always good.
I was just wondering. I never heard it.
You should give them a shot. Actually, anybody who likes strategy sim city builder games should give them a shot. They're really interesting.
I will say, having played Manor Lords, definitely probably shouldn't have won because it's a very bare bones
Bland.
I mean, it's one guy working on it by himself.
Now, props to him.
But for what he has done, it is kind of insane because the level of graphical detail he has made, it's kind of nuts.
So next up is the Best Sports/Racing Game.
Yeah.
Pass.
Nominees
I have a major problem with this, but that's fine.
are EA Sports. It's Football Club, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
they
Football
got rid of
Club
FIFA.
25,
I think it were defeated, didn't they?
Yeah.
F1 24, NBA 2K25, Top Spin 2K25, and WWE 2K24. What's your problem with it?
It should have been College Football 25.
Yes.
That is one of
It was the most anticipated, wasn't
Yes.
it?
And it was also the best sports game of the
yeah,
year.
it was also the best football game of it's way better than Madden 25.
It's so much better. It's such a good game.
Yeah.
Well, Madden 25 is the same as Madden 10.
It is.
Then why?
But
I mean, NBA.
It's made by the same people, and they decided to make, we're going to make this one way better.
I mean, F124 is fun. It's F1.
pretty.
It's pretty. Yeah, it's really pretty.
But to me, that's the
NCAA football.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The next category is Best Multiplayer. Nominees were Helldivers 2, Black Ops 6, Super Mario Party Jamboree, Tekken 8, and Space Marine 2.
I believe that they hit this one nail on the head because
absolutely.
Because you get some friends together and play Helldivers 2. It's a lot of fun.
It's so much fun.
It's a lot
Especially
of fun.
like you have having to carry those nuke shells or whatever to the gun, and then everyone's getting shot. And you watch your friend's head just kind of delete. It's so much fun.
It's a really well put together for multiplayer because the comedy writes itself.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and it has just enough of like simple bugs that make it really fun.
Like when you dive and you like start flipping and
or
flipping
like
out.
you use a jetpack and then you're stuck on a box or a ledge and you're just like glitching the whole. It's funny to look at from the other view.
Or like
that happened in our recording.
There's times when you would use a jetpack and then you'd be fine, and you hit the ground, you'd fly off into space or something.
Yeah, I think they got this one right.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. I think Warhammer is a very, very close second because it's really fun to go in there and just murder things through those missions, but it's not expansive enough to do anything. There's 6 multiplayer missions.
It's especially fun playing with friends. I mean, the only friend I've played with is you, and ton of fun just running through and killing like hellbrutes and whatnot together.
Yeah. But there's just not enough to do. There's only 6 missions, and they're going to be the same every single time.
It's just hordes constantly. They finally had horde mode to it, though.
Yep. Next up is Best Adaptation. The nominees are Fallout, Arcane, Knuckles, Like a Dragon Yakuza, and Tomb Raider The Legend of Lara Croft. And the winner's Fallout.
Yeah.
I think that realistically there's only 2 here that even were in the running, and it's Fallout and Arcane.
I disagree. I like Fallout, but Arcane.
Arcane absolutely should have won. I know with how I've sucked like a dragon's dick this entire time. You're going to say I think I should have won, but
why you're doing the man motion. You don't have to do that. They can't see you. You're just voluntary.
Everybody wrap it in. He was doing the double twist motion.
the double twist.
I'm trying to give a dick an Indian burn.
Like just no, but Arcane absolutely should have won. Arcane season 2 was phenomenal, fucking perfect.
Well, I wouldn't say that.
Okay, I loved it.
I wouldn't say it was perfect. It's pretty good.
I thought it was better than season 1.
I would have put Arcane higher than Fallout. Fallout was good, but
I mean, Fallout. I understand why it as best adaptation because it captured the feel of Fallout.
Also,
throughout the whole show.
I say that
I think
technically,
fair.
not an adaptation.
What?
It's not an adaptation of a game. It's just based in the game world.
Yes,
Oh, Arcane?
Fallout.
Oh.
but
both.
Arcane is also
Yeah.
Arcane is.
Yeah, Arcane is
It's not an RPG.
They're kind of stretching the definition.
the only one on this entire list that's actually an adaptation of a game is Yakuza.
Yeah.
Because it's an adaptation of the first game.
Next up is the most anticipated game.
I don't.
Nominees are GTA 6, Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotai, Metroid Prime 4, and Monster Hunter
Monster Hunter?
Monster
That sounds much more
Monster
entertaining.
Hunter Wilds.
We're hunting cheese.
And it's GTA 6 because it's been the most anticipated game for 6 years now.
I also
6 years.
I think the only other game that could possibly be as like hyped up as GTA 6 is Metroid Prime 4.
I would say Elder Scrolls 6.
I mean, yeah, but on this
The only other one that's like
on this
That's what I was thinking.
on this
it's not coming out next year.
No, it's not.
on this
These are coming out next
Neither
year.
is GTA.
GTA will most likely get delayed.
Yeah.
It's not coming out this year. It's
Officially.
not coming this year or next year.
Officially
I mean,
on the books for 2025.
On this list, Metroid Prime 4 is the only
if it
other
comes
one
out
that
in
meets
2026, I will not be surprised. If it comes out this year, I will be floored. Yeah.
Also, they've also reportedly put $2 billion worth of money into.
that. It will most likely be the greatest game ever.
You better temper them expectations, but
I know. I'm just okay. It will most likely be not the greatest game ever, but it will most likely make the most money because GTA 5.
they better hope it makes the most money.
I think the only other game that's made more than GTA 5 is Tetris.
Yeah.
But GTA 5 also barely beat Minecraft, which says a lot.
Next up is Best Esports Game. Nominees were League of Legends, Dota 2, Counter-Strike 2, Mobile Legends, Bang Bang, whatever the fuck that is, and Valorant. League of Legends won.
I don't think any other game could have won this because League is the only game to have a song rank in the top 10 on Billboard every single time Worlds happens. So
It's true.
every year when they have a song, the song is in the top 10. So
They put a lot more effort into their esports production as well than most
like,
other games. Well, any other game, really.
even before I ever knew really what League was, I knew what Worlds was.
Yeah.
And then next up, this is the final category that I'm going over. There's like Best Esports Team and Esports Player, but I don't give two shits about that.
Who won this first?
Is the last category that I'm doing is Player's Voice. That's just literally decided by votes. Whoever voted the most. So the nominees were Black Myth Wukong, Genshin Impact, Elden Ring's DLC, Wuthering Waves, and Zenless Zone Zero. And Black Myth Wukong won, understandably.
Understandable.
Yeah.
And then now we get to talk about the game announcements. These that I put on here are the most looked forward to or popular, I guess I would say.
I'm really excited for the last one.
Can
I
look
am
up the rest in person, that game.
Yeah.
I'm actually really excited about one that's already on here, which is the
Split Fiction.
yeah.
I knew you. That's
Oh,
one of the.
I can't. Now reading the after the colon,
Yeah.
I understand.
I'm
Slay the Spire 2 is one of them. I put that because I played Slay the Spire. I liked it.
Fair.
It's a fun game. It's a fun little time sink. The Witcher 4, which now we know is going to be Ciri as the main character.
so it looks. Oh
Yeah.
my god, I'm so excited.
Elden Ring Night Rain, which I think is going to be just another DLC, but you can play with a friend.
It's a spin-off in a different universe. So
Okay.
it's not set in.
Multiverse theory.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Okay.
that usually ends up well.
But it's like a battle royale, but not a battle royale, but like PvP. But there's no PvP. There's only PvE.
Yeah.
But it's like best
I know
team
it is.
wins,
Yeah,
and it's also one person. You can either play it single player or 3 player. You can't play it co-op.
Gotcha. And then Borderlands 4 is coming out, or not coming. I think it's supposed to come out next year. I think it did say it was supposed to come out.
They're gonna need to have a good one.
It'll probably get delayed.
3 was
I'm just talking.
the movie was also.
And
See, I forgot,
PIP's kind of in the toilet. Right
I forgot
now.
about the movie.
Split Fiction is made by the It Takes Two developers.
Why wasn't that on Best Adaptation?
It
Borderland.
oh, why wasn't it? I wonder why.
I already forgot that it was made.
I'm looking at the other games that were announced because it says you can look up the rest in person. But Turok Origins,
Ooh, yeah,
That's-
Turok being
yeah.
brought back.
It'd probably be fun.
I mean, the old games were fun when I was little. I mean, but how long has it been since a Turok game's been released?
Since 2008 when they released the one on PS3.
Yeah.
2006.
Yeah. The
Approximately 84 years ago.
Yeah.
What you mean?
Hey, now I was
you didn't put Mafia on this list?
Hey now, young.
Oh yeah, Mafia: The Old
May
Country.
may not have seen it.
Yeah.
Or if I probably overlooked it.
Yeah. Mafia was huge.
We haven't got a
Yeah.
new Mafia game in 10 years.
Yeah.
Mafia 3 was okay, but
I was 14.
That was the.
yeah, I know. I'm not gonna.
He was gonna say, yeah, no, you're old as dirt.
Also, Ninja Gaiden was announced as well.
Fair.
Wait, one of the a new Ninja Gaiden was announced.
Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, a new Ninja Gaiden game developed by Blasphemous.
Fuck yes.
Why
did you make
cupping
that hand motion?
You need to keep your hands like in your pockets or something. Well, no, don't do that,
No,
please.
the
No,
hands
no.
straight
Yeah,
up
'cause-
into the air.
Yeah, away from the air.
Like just
No, not that one either, Jamie.
the Adderall makes me homoerotic.
Yeah, that's what makes you homoerotic.
There's also Shadow Labyrinth, a Metroidvania approach to Pac-Man with a darker tone based on the secret level.
Okay,
and
is it based on that?
I did see that one, but I hadn't watched Secret Level yet, so that's what made me not put it for some reason. Because I was like, oh, I don't know it. But
yeah. Anyway, that's the other ones I saw.
Okay.
There's a couple others on here that are big names, but I don't care about them.
Neat.
All right. Well, that wraps up the 2024 VGAs. You guys got anything else?
Yeah. Have you played? How many of these games have you played approximately?
Oh.
And I'll roll the dice.
I threw my thing over there. I think it was either 5 or 6.
Okay.
3
for Ethan.
3 or 4.
Tyler.
I actually played
Yeah.
Helldivers and Space Marine 2, I think were the only.
That's it.
I think that's the only 2 I played.
It'd be infinitely easier for me to count the games I haven't played.
Well, Baldur's Gate 3, like there's a couple that were.
That's fair.
If it won an award on there, I counted it.
Yeah.
Or was nominated.
Let's see. I'm actually curious which ones I haven't played.
Jamie's played almost everything except for a handful.
Oh, to be young.
Even when I was young, I didn't play them like that.
I did.
6.
When I didn't have nothing else to pay for, I just paid for video games.
My problem is I just don't care for
Most video games now.
newer video
I can
games
agree
anymore.
with that.
They don't provide the same, like, okay, the visual quality obviously is better than it was like 15 years ago.
But it's not the same
When I
feel.
graduated high school 15 years ago.
Oh God.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey there, Grandpa.
Easy.
They just don't have the same
Feel.
substance quality.
Yeah.
What?
Je ne sais quoi. They don't have
Sure, they don't have the same substance quality.
Yeah.
Out of all the games on this list, I haven't played 30.
Haven't played 30?
Yeah.
I've played 3 on this list,
Fair.
which is BG3, No Man's Sky.
Oh, I played No Man's Sky too.
There was another one.
And Fortnite.
Destiny 2 is the other one that
And
was
Destiny
on there.
2. Yeah. I've played Fortnite. Not like recently, but
This year?
Technically, I've also played
That's what I
Fortnite.
was counting this year.
I can't remember if I played Indica because marijuana is a memory loss drug.
Technically, I've played Fortnite as well, but I don't count it because I was only playing for my kids for like 2.5 seconds while they went to the bathroom. So, doesn't count. I don't care.
all right. Yeah. Well, that will wrap up the 2024 VGAs. We appreciate you guys listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
I hate video games.
Goodbye.